Hey y'all, Jamie here, proud 55-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, where last I left off was last week, and I apologize. I am moving 3,500 miles away this summer to Maine, and yeah, I had to have an estate sale this last weekend, so I apologize, everyone. Where last I left off, I was in a date's car, stoned out of my mind in the Hollywood Hills, and I thought he was going to kill me. And so I started screaming and crying in his car, and I'm like, you're going to kill me. I knew it. I knew I messed up, and the whole 9 yards. And this man started laughing, and I was like, why are you laughing? I thought he was psycho. And he was like, honey, calm down. I know you're new in town, but calm down. I'm not going to do anything to you. I just wanted to go somewhere private. Turned out to be a very nice guy. Very nice guy. I mean, for a trick. And we did our thing in the hills, and I learned that, what the girls had said, if you feel comfortable with the date, it's a little different. But anyway, that was what happened with my first encounter in Hollywood, making money on the Strip. It was interesting, to say the least. So I get back to Santa Monica Boulevard, and I go to a place called Astro Burgers. It was across the street from Okie Dogs at the corner of Santa Monica and Curson. And Astro Burger was very famous. So was Okie Dogs. Okie Dogs was where like the boy hustlers hung out mostly. And then Astro Burgers was where the dolls would go. And it was kind of funny. We'd be like across, we could go to each, we went back and forth, but mainly that's how the hangouts worked. So we're doing this, and I get back to Astro Burger, and my best friend Terry and Bobby Joe are like, girl, are you okay? And I said, yeah, girl, I'm okay. I said, but I really freaked out on that man. And I think I scared the hell out of him, and we all had a good laugh about it, So I went the next day. We went shopping on Hollywood Boulevard and Melrose, and I was getting acquainted with Hollywood. And then on my third night in town was when I met Mr. Eddie Murphy. I went out that night, and I was standing in front of Astro Burgers, and I was close to the street on the sidewalk. And one of the girls said, girl, I hear his car. Here comes Eddie. See, he drove a black Aston Martin, so, it had a distinctive sound to the engine out there, and apparently the girls learned how to, I even learned how to hear it, So they tell me, girl, go around the side of Astro Burgers and meet him around there. He doesn't like to pick girls up right on the main street. So I said, okay. So I go around the corner, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, down the side street of Curson, towards the hills, and Eddie pulls up alongside of me and rolls down the passenger window, and he's like, go up a block, turn right, and I'll pick you up around the corner. So I said, okay, sure. And he drives up, drives on, and I'm walking the rest of the way to where he said to meet him, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm about to go with one of the biggest stars in the entire world. And I'm about to go with him and turn a date with him. And then I got in his car. And he was really nice. Like, he was super nice to me. Listen, there are things about Eddie that are mysteriously, possibly negative. I'm not totally sure, but there are rumors that the young lady that he was busted with in the 90s who was trans, she mysteriously died. I met her in New Orleans after she was busted with him. Her and I had drinks and a laugh over dating him. And yeah, then she mysteriously died a couple of months later when she came back to LA. Supposedly she jumped out of a window and died. But, there's always been the rumors that she shouldn't have run her mouth, which was why I frankly debated talking about Eddie Murphy on here. But it is what it is, and it's my story. And if there's shame to be had, honey, then he shouldn't have shame in his game. Don't do what you're ashamed of, That's how I feel about that. I frankly find it insulting when someone's like, how dare you out him? Excuse me. He slept with me. It wasn't a horrible thing. It wasn't a hideous thing. I don't understand why people make that out like. Anyway, so Eddie and I, we go and we park and we're talking and we're getting to know each other a little bit. And he tells me, wow, you have really beautiful feet, you know, and I really want to see you in some strappy flat sandals. And, you know, and he's going on and on about my feet. And then he says, you're really pretty, you know, and you're really, I mean, you just, nobody would know. He said, you know, I would really like to take you out to dinner one night in Hollywood. And if y'all want to know what my answer was, y'all know the routine. Be here tomorrow and I will too. And this time I promise I'll be here tomorrow. All right. I love you all. I love you all for watching and I love you for the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.